for the past couple of videos, we've been doing stuff that's a little unusual and most likely stuff that you haven't tried before. Least you forget, it's good to get out of your comfort zone. However, this week I thought it would be fun if we brought it back to something with a little bit more familiar for you guys. We're gonna be making something that I think both of the vlog brothers will be able to appreciate. No, not blenderized Happy Meals or Peeps. I think those ships have sailed. No, we are going to be making homemade pizza, and who doesn't love pizza? Well, we're going to be making a variation on pizza. It's sometimes referred to as Tarte Flambee or Flammenkuchen, depending on what region of Europe you're in. And of course, it wouldn't be cooking with awesome without highlighting an ingredient. However, I think this one you guys are going to be able to have absolutely no problems finding. Because it's beer. This particular beer is a Belgian-style pale ale that comes from one of my absolute favorite distilleries, Goose Island. However, you don't need to feel like you need to seek out a special bottle. Really, anything will do. But just like cooking with any alcohol, do make sure that you go with something that you wouldn't mind drinking, because this is going to flavor your dough. Tarte Flambee makes an absolutely amazing appetizer, but who's to say that you can't just have this stuff for dinner? It's that good. We're making a very thin pub-style pizza that's topped with caramelized onions, flavored with nutmeg and creme fraiche, and then sprinkled with bacon. But the most fun thing about this recipe is I get to teach you guys how to make pizza dough. And your waistline may not appreciate that down the line, so I apologize. Anyways, let's get to cooking. To get things started, we need to create a starter. Take 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, add to that 1 tablespoon of sugar, an entire packet of yeast, and 1/4 cup of moderately hot water. Go ahead and stir to combine. Move your starter to a place that's really warm, like right on top of your oven while it's preheating, and keep it there until it's nice and foamy. In addition to the starter, what we're going to need for our dough is 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of our beer, and 6 tablespoons of milk. Add the beer and the milk at the same time that you add the starter, and then fitted with your paddle attachment, go ahead and mix the dough together until it forms into a ball. At this point, we want to switch over to our dough hook and process the dough for an additional 2 minutes until the dough is really smooth and elastic. Now we must let it rise. Go ahead and butter a bowl as well as the top of your dough and place a tea towel over it. Now we want to set it in a really warm area until it doubles in size. If you preheated your oven earlier, go ahead and turn it off and stick it in there. Once your dough has risen, go ahead and turn it out onto a floured surface and punch it down and knead it a little bit. Then go ahead and return it to a warm area and let it rise for a second time. During the second rise of our dough, that's when we can go ahead and start preparing the toppings for our pizza, namely the bacon. Dice an entire package of bacon into matchsticks and then cook it until it gets really golden brown and delicious over medium-high heat. When it's ready, use a slotted spoon to remove the bacon from the pan while still leaving the fat. For the onion, you can do one of 2 things. Take some of the reserved bacon fat and then cook an entire sweet onion in it, adding a very heavy pinch of salt. Cook until it's translucent and maybe a little bit burnt around the edges for about 10 minutes. Or if you're like me, you can go ahead and use properly caramelized onions. Now, I taught you guys how to make caramelized onions in a previous video, so if you want to re-watch that, go ahead and click on the link within the video now. Remove the onions from the heat and add an entire cup of creme fraiche, then season with freshly ground nutmeg. Once that's been combined, it's time to start assembling our pizza. We want to preheat our oven to 450 degrees using the convection setting if your oven allows for that. Then take a 14 by 16 inch baking sheet and coat it in any remaining bacon fat. Using your fingers, punch the dough out lightly over the baking sheet to cover it as much as you can. Go ahead and spread the onion mixture out over the dough, and at this point I actually like to season with salt and pepper. Finish by dotting your pizza with the cooked bacon. Bake for 8 to 12 minutes until the tart dough is brown and the onion mixture is bubbling. Serve as soon as it comes out of the oven. Pizza and beer, match made in heaven, wouldn't you say? I would definitely say this is the snobby older sibling of Bud Light and Pizza Hut. Who says pizza and beer can't be classy? Well, little chefs, I hope I have once again inspired you to try something new at home. Until next week. That's all I got. Now I've got to stuff my face with pizza. Oh my gosh. Creme fraiche and bacon. Oh yeah. And beer spitting on me. Oh, my mouth is watering just thinking about it.